You come to me on this, the day of my Honda Grom's new exhaust install. Have a seat.
Riding down a YouTube channel, it's the riding down a YouTube channel, it's the riding down a YouTube channel, it's the riding down a
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Riding Dad channel, or welcome back. Either way, glad to have you. Today, as the thumbnail and the title suggests, we're putting on a new exhaust on the old Gromski. It's the Vance and Hines high output Hooligan exhaust. I did purchase it from Revzilla, and it is for the 2017 through 2020 Grom. Mine is a 20. And it sits at $379.99. So just to kind of give you an idea of the price, it's somewhere right in the middle. They have systems for $600 and $700 for the Grom, which is crazy for a $4,000 motorcycle. And then they also have systems in the $100 to $200 range, kind of no name and like Amazon stuff, but also $250 to $300 seems to be kind of like the entry level for Groms. And you know, Vance and Hines has a pretty good product in my experience, and more importantly, I've heard and seen a lot of good feedback about this exhaust. There's a couple of reasons why I went with this. One, the price was obviously in a good price range. I didn't want to spend too much on the Grom, but I did want to get something that was lighter weight exhaust than what is on there, something with a little bit of a better sound, and then at least to free up some airflow for a little bit better performance as well. I also like this exhaust because it sits a little bit higher up. It's still a lower mount. Most of the new series Groms are for the exhaust, but it does sit up a little bit higher, and it's supposed to allow you to still have pretty good lean angles and really not get in the way for doing anything. The other cool thing about this is that the header pipe is actually really big compared to a lot of the other exhausts. Now, I'm not an expert on header pipes and dyno results, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you that a larger header pipe is going to give you this and this torque and horsepower. I'm not going to tell you that, but what I am going to tell you is I've heard sound clips of this exhaust, and due to that wider header pipe, it gives it a completely different sound from all of the other exhausts with these skinnier, narrower ones. So let's open this up. I'll show you what's in the box, and then I'll move you guys over here and we'll install this. It should be fairly simple, so let's see. All right, so you got your canister, your actual muffler, the front of the header pipe, the rear hardware kit. It appears that it includes a mounting bracket, a spring puller, some springs, and a couple bolts and washers. So, oh, and the directions. Let's move the table out of the way. I'll bring you guys closer to the bike, and let's put this on. It will initially, this looks way better in person than it does on a picture. I mean, this just looks really, really rad. So I'm pretty excited. All right, let's head over to the bike. All right, so the first thing we're gonna have to do is remove the old exhaust. We're gonna start with these header bolts. Then there's two bolts on each side under the bike that hold that kind of collection basket of the exhaust on, and then one more bolt on the very end that attaches the muffler to the rear set. After you remove all of the bolts holding the exhaust on, just kind of jiggle it free and throw it in the trash. Before we put the new exhaust on, we're going to have to remove this rubber grommet from the rear set. First step to getting the new exhaust on is to put the header pipe on using the supplied bolts with the Vance and Hines exhaust. You don't want to snug it up yet, just lightly put it on there. Then we'll position the mid pipe onto the header pipe. And before we put the muffler on the bike, we have to put the bracket on the muffler. Now, using the supplied washer and screw and head cover, we're going to mount the exhaust bracket onto the rear set of the bike and fit the muffler into the mid pipe. Nothing tightened down yet. Once everything is loosely fit on the bike, go ahead and install the springs from the muffler to the mid pipe and the header to the mid pipe. Once the springs are on, go ahead and tighten the head pipe down and the muffler mount down. Before you turn the bike on, make sure that you wipe the exhaust down incredibly well with some sort of alcohol or window or similar cleaner. Make sure you get all different oils, fingerprints, everything like that off of the exhaust before you turn it on, otherwise you're gonna have marks. All right, so installation is all done. You can probably tell by looking at it that there's a little bit of discoloration. That's because I took it around the block, just for a few minutes to make sure that everything was good and to kind of hear how it sounds, because I could not wait. So I'm sure you guys are probably curious. I took a sound clip of my prior exhaust using the GoPro Media Mod mic and then also my regular Sony recording mic, and I did the same with the new exhaust. So I'll show you the comparison right now. So as you can tell, the Vance and Hines is way louder. It's insane how loud it is. And when you're riding, because it's kind of upswept as well, it makes it even more loud. It's, to me, even used to the Harley being somewhat loud, this exhaust is even borderline obnoxious. Like, it's just insanely loud. So if you do a lot of like quiet residential neighborhood riding, or you wanted to do a lot of off-roading with your Grom at some point, or anything where somebody would get annoyed with you very quickly, I would very much stay away from this exhaust. I do have, if you've seen my other video, I do have some exciting stuff that's going to improve the sound of that exhaust even more, as well as the obvious performance of the bike. So I'm super excited to get the rest of the stuff on this bike. November / part of December, I guess, mostly, but mostly November is like the month of the Grom for me. It's a whole bunch of stuff focused on the Groms. So I'm excited to have you guys along on the ride with me to see just how nice and somewhat quick we can get this little cheap bike, and for how cheap we can do it. So yeah, exhaust is done. That's a wrap on this video. Very happy with it. Like I said, very loud, completely different tone, which is the most important thing for me. Almost too loud. We'll see how I like it as it comes, but I think it looks really good and the tone sounds really good, and at idle it's a pretty nice sound as well. So if you don't know who I am, like I said in the beginning, I am the Riding Dad. My name is Chris. Obviously this is my Grom. It's a 2020, and behind me, that's not a Grom, that's my 2020 Harley Davidson Lowrider S. I have a whole build series devoted to that. It's a playlist on YouTube, and obviously I have a build series devoted to this Grom, which is what we're in the middle of right now. So please go ahead and check out both of those playlists if you haven't seen anything else with the Grom. And if you're curious about the Harley, I do have an Instagram page as well, and Instagram is the easiest way to have like a one-on-one conversation with me if you want to ask me any detailed questions or give me comments, concerns about something that you have that I might be able to help, or anything you want to talk about really. But as always, comments on YouTube are very much welcomed as well. It really helps the video, and it helps me interact with you guys as a subscriber base also. So please make sure you do subscribe to my channel and turn the post notifications on. That way you always get notified when I have a new video, which is twice a week, Wednesdays and Saturdays. And please hit the like button on this video if you enjoyed it or got something out of it. Before I go, I gotta tell you to watch one or both of these videos. And until the next time, guys, ride safe, have fun. Dad out.